Second of the Group 1s is the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. If you want to know any more about the 4 Group 1s, we recorded a special this week as well, which is available on the website at hkjc.com and YouTube as well. Myself, Graham Cunningham, Kevin Blake and Kate Hunter as well, speaking about the Japanese horses, of which we have 2 in the sprint here. But, of course, a strong local challenge headed by Mr. Stunning. John Size and Nashville, who's unbeaten on the horse, 2 from 2 so far. Lucky Bubbles, the Chairman Sprint Prize winner from last year. Peniophobia, winner of this in 2015. Amazing Kids, who was runner-up in the lead-up race coming into this, a Jockey Club Sprint. Signs of Blessing over from France, as is the Right Man, the Alquoz winner. DB Pin, wide draw for him. Stormy Liberal from America, and the 2 girls from Japan. Let's Go Donkey, or Donkey even, and Once in a Moon. Zach Purton will be on board from Barrier 2, Brett. So we're back here to have a look at this one on the touchscreen and from Barrier 2. She's a natural leader, and I imagine Zach will want to get out and try and control things from the front.
I would definitely think he'll want to be right there. Whether or not he can potentially hold maybe a challenge from a previous winner in Peniophobia, who came from the outside barrier to win the race. Not sure whether the Right Man will have the pace to be there. I get the feeling there's a real chance that DB Pin could actually be the horse that is situated in that spot, rolling forward, and the Right Man might have to try and slot in here somewhere. I'm not sure he's got the pace to match it with some of our local sprinters. And the American horse, Stormy Liberal, I wonder whether he might also want to roll on and try for a forward spot. Wouldn't be surprised. There is the option as well of dropping back and riding for a little bit of luck. There's certainly going to be some congestion, I feel, Andrew, through the first 200 to 300 metres. It can often be a mad charge in the sprint. We've seen it before.
As far as congestion is concerned, Lucky Bubbles will be looking to avoid it
yes, he will.
Yeah, he's found it before, hasn't he, on numerous occasions, but let's hopefully he can get a clear run. And here he is, down the back straight, going nicely. So from Barrier 1, he's got Hugh Bowman aboard. And you can see him really stretching out nicely. This was back on the 4th of December. He has had a gallop as well with Hugh Bowman aboard. Signs of Blessing, he's coming down here nicely. He's one of the newcomers, or one of the overseas raiders, I should say, the French horse, who did run 5th in this race last year. You can see he's sort of settled back in here to Hong Kong, seems to like it here. Let's Go Donkey. She hasn't, but she's going really nicely. It's a really nice workout for her. One of the Japanese mares in the race, or fillies in the race, and the other one is Once in a Moon, and you can see she's going really nicely, and Zach Purton really gave her a good workout here. She responded well, so she has got that pace, so as you said, she'll be up near the front there somewhere.
Yeah. Someone was telling me at the gala dinner, Andrew, that her splits leading into some work in the last few days have been fantastic ones in the middle.
They were good ones in that run.
Yeah, she's certainly got the early speed. It's whether she's really got the fortitude to see it out, I suppose. We will find out in due course. John Size well represented with favourite as well. Of course, that's Mr. Stunning.
John, 4 runners in the sprint this year. Start off Mr. Stunning. He's won the 2 lead-up races. Are you happy with him going into Sunday?
Yeah, the horse has been fine. He's, as you say, he's won a couple of races already. He seems in good form. I think he's held that. He looks well and sound. He trialled nicely the other day. So I haven't got any concerns with him. He's been good.
He's the highest rated horse in the field. Do you have him as the pick of yours?
Well, on paper he has to be, because he's lived up to his rating in his last 2 starts. So it's just a matter of he gets a nice some luck in running, he's going to run well again.
The Wizard of Oz, you've mentioned with him these lead-up races haven't been run to suit. Just looking at Sunday, do you think the race will be run at a tempo that would suit him?
Well, I haven't had a close look at the race yet, but now that I've got the gates I can do that. But I'm hoping there's a bit more speed on for his purposes. You know, he needs probably a bit of pressure put on in the race, and that might suit him better.
What about DB Pin? The draw looks a bit awkward here, John.
It is an awkward draw, but he's got good speed, so he can go forward and probably slot in behind the leaders, because he's got plenty of pace that he can use.
He looks like a horse that's continued to respond to everything that you've asked of him.
He improved again last start, so he's still improving. We sort of haven't. I don't think he's done his best yet. There might be a little bit more to come.
And Amazing Kids, has he improved throughout the preparation from run to run?
Well, he's been he's been well tried, and he's had plenty of opportunities. But this preparation, I think, 3 runs back, he might have needed them to get the best result for him. So this race, similarly, if there's plenty of speed on, he might come charging into the race late.
Looking at the sprinters last season, there didn't seem to be a lot between them. Is there much between your 4?
No, I don't think so. I think luck in running it would be the answer to the race.
Yeah, could play the part, of course, but Mr. Stunning, he's got the good draw, comes in as the highest rated horse. He's the one to beat.
He is, you're right, Andrew. Yeah, he's got the score on the board. Lucky Bubbles has had the excuse, as we know, last start. I think Lucky Bubbles and Mr. Stunning are ahead of the rest. Not by a lot, but they are ahead of the rest. And Mr. Stunning's still got potential to even move further forward, and maybe Lucky Bubbles too. But they've both drawn well. I won't be pushing them out of the tips to find a spot for some of the others.
No, I think they're the two. And the interesting thing with Lucky Bubbles is that when he did win that race, when he did have a bit of luck, Mr. Stunning had no luck and was still picking him up at the end. So from barriers 1 and 4, I think it'll be a really good race because they can both get good runs and not have any issues. Lucky Bubbles just wouldn't want too many horses crossing him, that's all. No,
he's got a low barrier again. I think he can kick up, maybe potentially hold a spot a little closer. But we're on the A course. When they peel in, I think there's a chance that it'll break up a little bit more, and hopefully there won't be any hard luck stories for anyone.
No, absolutely. All right, that's the pick of the home team challenge. What about from Japan? Blizzard ran in this race as well, actually, as well. This is Sprinter Stakes. Once in a Moon out in front. Red Falcons wins. He's in a different league, but Let's Go Donkey finishes off very strongly.
He finished off the race really nicely, and Once in a Moon stayed on there for third. So I'll tell you what, when these Japanese horses come here, if they do travel well, they're very hard to beat. And both these horses, I can say, in the track work I've seen, have both travelled really well here. So I think they're both really live chances in this particular race. And, you know, they're bringing good form. And we need the Japanese sprinters to go well in this race.
Yeah, I respect both of them. I'm going to side with Let's Go Donkey in the selections only because I think there's going to be a frantic pace and that may go against Once in a Moon.
Yeah, it might just soften her up a touch as well. Great to have a Breeders' Cup Sprint winner in the shape of Stormy Liberal here. Trained by Peter Miller, who's having all kinds of problems in California. Our thoughts are with him and the rest of the community at the moment. But Stormy Liberal, a surprise here. Can he spring another one?
Well, I hope he can run well for them, Andrew. They probably wouldn't be overly happy with the barrier that he's got because it makes it a little bit tough for him. He's never been right-handed as well. We have seen horses come here that have never been right-handed before and they've struggled a little bit, you know, when they're running at, you know, top pace to get around that bend. Hopefully that's not a concern for him. But I think his form, others have said his form's probably not as strong as Mongolian, Saturday and so forth, but I think his form, when you look down, looks pretty strong to me.
I wish him all the best from barrier 11, but I think he's got a task from out there.
This one for Hong Kong, Paul?
It looks this way. I think this is Hong Kong's best chance, and Mr. Stunning lives up to his billing and his name. I think those last two wins have both been very good. Barrier 4, he'll take luck out of the equation and he'll be running nicely. Lucky Bubbles, he just don't want too many to cross him. He doesn't want to get stuck back on that rail again, but he's the one to beat. One to beat two. And then the two Japanese horses, Let's Go Donkey's got the wide draw. Otherwise, I would have probably elevated him up a place or something. But he's going to find that a little bit difficult. But he's got plenty of ability and will come home. He'll be the one rocketing home. Once in a Moon will be trying to hang on. 1, 2, 12, 13.
Just went the other way. I suggested at the start of the series I thought Lucky Bubbles was the one to beat. I can't drop off. He had clear excuses last start. But Mr. Stunning's got the score on the board and probably a slightly better barrier. You know, 4 against 1 in that respect. A little bit more room to move. Let's Go Donkey, I think, will run well. And Signs of Blessing clearly had excuses in the Prix de l'Abbé last start. Off the run he put in last year with a good barrier, can be there. 2, 1, 12, 7.
All right, I've included Wizard of Oz in 4th place. I mean, not because I think he'll finish 4th, but he could finish anywhere.
Yeah, he's the X factor. We've said it before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, no arguments from me. That's the Hong Kong Sprint.